Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, how y'all doing this afternoon? I'm just coming back in the house. I ran up to Stop and Shop like really fast because I was low on milk. And I did not even have not one slice of bread, nor did I have a Kaiser roll, y'all. I had to go to the store because I want to make myself a hamburger for lunch. A homemade hamburger, that is, because I don't eat Burger King, I don't eat Mickey D's, and I don't eat Wendy's. I think the last time I had a Mickey D, hamburger. It had something like coleslaw on it. It was good now, don't get me wrong, it was good. I think that's been maybe a couple of years ago. Cause I don't eat that. But I eat the fish, the little fish sandwich. And sometimes I feel like just going there and tell them, just give me a piece of fish with no bread. Forget your sandwich, because your sandwich ain't all that great. But let me tell you what I did at the store, y'all. I almost went into a state of shock. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot, I didn't unload. Wait a minute. Let me turn this stuff off. I think a bee came in my house when I came. Because I'm always bringing a bee in my house, and I don't know he's in there until way later. I mean, I haven't been stung, not lately anyway. But let me tell you, I just bought regular bread. I said this will carry me over for the weekend. And I bought me a half a gallon of milk. Let me show you the shocker. Wait a minute. Oh, here's the shocker. I almost went into a state of shock. Do you see how small this thing is? And you know how much it costs? $1.79. I mean, look, this is it, y'all. This is how much you get for $1.79. And remember how big these things used to be years ago? That used to be huge. And the Baby Ruth and the Butterfinger, those three right there were competitive. And the Snickers bar. It's not new Snickers out. Now, the Snicker, I used to have me a Snicker every day. At least one or two Snickers a day would do me, but I was much smaller and I was more active than I am now. But I could not believe they made me pay $1.79 just because I wanted something sweet. They sure did. I think I'm going to sue them, y'all. I'm taking them to court. I'm just like the president of the U.S. of A. I'm going to take these jokers to court. Let me stop being silly. But my favorite potato chips, this is what I'm on a kick right now. I got to get off this kick. But since they were two for, wish I had Lay's. Lay's were 2 for $6. And the Y's that I got were 2 for $7. But I like the Y's better now. I don't know what happened to Lay's. Lay's are just too darn hard for me. And these are not quite as hard. They're a little bit easier for me to chew than the Lay's. Yeah, that's all I got from the store. I didn't get a whole lot. Because I didn't have a whole lot of moolah, all right? The moolah was getting a little fuller. Let me take these shoes off. Once again, now let's talk about the toe. The toe is at it again. And these are the big shoes. Matter of fact, I'm going to try. I got some sneakers that I got a few years back from the surgical, what do you call it, the medical, the doctor prescribed them for me. As a matter of fact, I could get more, but to me, I don't like the way they look. I don't know if I ever showed you them. but I wore them once. And I got, not, actually, I got two pair. One I wore home from their office. 'Cause this, you know what they remind me of. You remember when the nurses used to wear all white? Okay, the nurse used to have the white dress, the white stockings, the white shoes. Okay, and so these shoes remind me of the shoes that the nurses used to wear. But now you can't hardly tell a nurse from the CNA. What's up with that, y'all? And the doctors used to wear the white coats, and every now and then you'll see a doctor with a white coat. But the nurses used to come in there with their little hats on. What's the word coming to y'all? The nurses don't even look the same no more. The doctors don't look the same. Things have just changed way too much. The world's going too fast for me. Yeah, and when it gets to the place that you can wear pants and all this kind of stuff to a Pentecostal or Baptist church, what? If you got a pants, you want to wear your blue jeans, you wear your blue jeans to, what the heck is that I see in my phone now? Is that my eyeball that's moving around? No, that's something in the back. Oh, I don't know what the heck it is though. But anyway, when it gets like that, that's the way it is today. You can come in there wearing your toe-up jeans and a tennis skirt hanging up at your butt and all this kind of stuff. Now, when back in the day, we could not do that. We couldn't go to church looking like that. The ladies wore dresses, the men wore suits. And the ladies used to have the cute little hats. I mean, some people still old school, you know what I mean? They still wear their hats and their pretty outfits, their suits and their dresses. And, they look like ladies. And the little girls look like little girls. They would wear their little dresses. I remember when I was coming up, we had the dresses and they had they had the bows that you would tie the bow in the back. And you had a little lace. You was a little girly girl. But now, if you're walking down the street, you can't, and if you're not up close, you can't hardly tell the girls from the boys. That's the fact, Jack. You don't know if that's a she or a he until you get maybe right up close to them. And sometimes you still can't tell. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm trying to talk about, y'all. The world is going to change. It's done went to, I mean, in church, in school, we could not wear pants to school. No. The girls had to wear dresses, and the boys wore the pants. We wore skirts and blouses and dresses. And then after we got to high school, I remember when I went to high school, the girls had to wear pantyhose and heels. I went to Hill House High School, and we had to wear the pantyhose, and we had to wear the little, high heel shoes. And the boys had to either wear a blazer or they wore, a nice sweater. Now, what are you wearing today? We didn't do that. Even in grade school, when I was down south, the little girls wore the dresses. We couldn't wear pants. I did not own a pair of pants, I'm telling you. I think I had one pair of pants by the time I was, I think it was 8th or 9th grade. No, it had to be 8th because it wasn't up here, it was down south. It had to be like, I had one pair of pants. And then, one day, all the friends decided, okay, they had pants at home they could wear, but they couldn't wear them to school. And, they had pants like when we worked on the farm, we wore pants out there and we wore long sleeve shirts, so that, the sun wouldn't burn our skins and we weren't so hot. You'd be surprised, you wore like cotton shirts and stuff like that, and you had a big rise straw hat or something like that because you're out there in the field all day. You got to be cool. You try to be as cool as you can, at least. But no, we didn't wear that to school. No way. We wore dresses, like I said, and the guys wore Pants. What's happening to the world today, y'all? Look what has happened to the Musketeer and the Baby Ruth and the Butterfinger. Matter of fact, did I even see a Butterfinger when I was in there? Butterfingers ain't quite as popular as they used to be, are they? They used to be like my number one go-to when I was down yonder home. And I mean, and they had two pieces. Remember, there were two pieces in the pack. And, ooh, about this big. Two of them. They would be about that long. I think they were about 10 or 15 cents back then. And I know my sister, excuse me, y'all, I got to put my milk in the refrigerator. My sister used to like the Baby Ruth, but I was the Butterfinger person. And she used to call her big fat baby. Baby Ruth used to be about that freaking big around, filled with nuts. And you know that caramel thing inside? Those were the days. Y'all don't know nothing about how it used to be. They were better back then. Well, maybe they were better because we were kids. I don't know. But to me, the taste is not the same. I don't know what the world is coming to, y'all. I know one thing. I can't remember myself when the last time I wore a dress. I think it was, a matter of fact, I forget all about the few dresses that I have in that closet. I wore a dress to my cousin's funeral, but she has been gone on to be with the Lord for about 4 years. And I can't remember the last time I wore a skirt. I think I've tried on a skirt to see if I can still wear it, which made no sense because I showed y'all one time some of the skirts that I have in my closet right today that I need to get rid of. But you know, like they say, you go with the times, I guess. The times have changed. But I feel like this here. I remember the woman used to stay home. The man used to go out to make the bread. She took care of the children, took care of the house. By the time he got home from work, it was almost time for Dad to come home. The kids, you know, running and carrying on. Go wash your hands, just get ready to eat dinner together. As a family, we sat down at the table together. It wasn't nobody you taking your food to your room because you want to be on your computer. Susie's in her room. Tom is over there eating and doing this kind of stuff. We sat at the table together with a big table. We sat there together as a family. Oh, yeah. Everybody ate at the same time. Wasn't nobody going to no room to eat. You know, we talked, had a little small conversation, stuff like that, and talked about what happened during the day, how the school, you know, how was your day or something like that in school. And then sometimes the little kids have something to come home to tell mommy about what happened and what she did at work, especially the little grade grade school kids. You know, the little kindergartners in the first grade up to, I'll say, about maybe 4th, about the 4th or 5th grade. And they run home, they want to tell mommy something. They want to talk to mom. Then they come home today, mom ain't home. Mom got to go to work. Okay? Mom got to help bring home the bread and the bacon. Just like Dad. Because the cost of living is too darn high for Dad he can't pull it on his own. He got to have Mom. Sometimes he worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet, you know? And now they've taken away our freaking candy bar. Darn it. They're making it hard for us. I need 2 of these. It seemed like just last year they were big. It ain't been that long ago that they were bigger than this. I can't get over this. I'm in a state of shock, y'all. I'm going to have to pray about it. And on that note, I go with love, and I'll see you again soon.